Alright, hey guys, I'm back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh content. I've been working on some character decks over the past year or two, and I'm gonna share them today. I have the Yugi deck, the Kaiba deck, the Jaden deck, Yusei Fudo deck, and Jack Atlas. And they're all 40 card character decks, or 40-ish cards. They all have like 40 to 42 cards. One copy of each card per deck, unless there's exceptions. Like, for example, Kaiba has 3 blue eyes, so obviously you have to have 3 blue eyes, white dragons. But for the most part, everything is single copy. The rules that I made were the character had to use the card either in the anime or the manga. There are some technicalities, and I'll go over that as we get to them. Today, I'm just going to be doing the Yugi deck first, so I'll do all the other ones in another video. But today we're going to start with Yugi here. And first off, of course, you have to have the Dark Magician, and then a Yugi deck. Then we have all the normal monsters here, so the ones that I chose to put in were Alpha the Magnet Warrior, Beta the Magnet Warrior, and Gamma the Magnet Warrior. Now you can use the gadgets if you want to, because you use those in the anime, and you can also use Jack's Knight, Queen's Knight, and King's Knight as well. Or you can use the Magnet Warriors. It just depends on whatever you want to have in there. Then Gazelle, King of Mystical Beasts, Mystic Elf. It's a classic Yugi card. Big 2000 defense monster. It's really good in these character decks. And the reason why we use Mystic Elf over like Giant Soldier of Stone, even though Giant Soldier of Stone has more attack, Mystic Elf is a spellcaster, and that's kind of important in this deck with some of the spell and trap cards. And then Summoned Skull, which is the highest one tribute monster in old school Yu-Gi-Oh. So that's all the normals. Let me go on to the effect monsters. We have Karibo, Lemon Magician Girl, and Apple Magician Girl. These are both from the Dark Side of Dimensions movie. They're both pretty useful. Marshmallow, Big Shield Gardna, great defensive wall. Electric Magnetic Turtle, also a pretty decent wall with 1800 defense, and it has a graveyard ability, so you can remove it from play and and then in the battle phase. Yep. Okay. Then we have some spellcasters here. We have Magician's Valkyria, which I think was in one of the movies, maybe like the Pyramid of Light, or the Egyptian themed one. Skilled Dark Magician, Breaker the Magical Warrior. It's a very good card. Baphomet. Dark Magician Girl. I'm gonna get to the boss monsters here. We have, of course, Buster Blader. And then I have Dark Magician of Chaos and Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. Now these cards are kind of technicalities, since in the original anime series, Yugi never really used these versions of the cards because they're kind of retrained, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, when there's that one episode where that kid steals Yugi's deck when his deck goes on tour, these are the 2 versions of the card that are in Yugi's deck. So that's the reason why I'm running them, and they're just better than their original ones, obviously, and they help out tremendously. So this is the errated version, though, so it's not as great as its original effect, but you can always play with the original effect. And then, of course, Slifer the Sky Dragon. I had to give Yugi Slifer because that was the first god he got. And I have Obelisk in Kaiba's deck. And then that's it for the monsters. Then on to the spell and traps. Got Swords of Revealing Light. Use that card so many times. Mystic Box. Brain Control. 1,000 Knives. Works with Dark Magician. Destroys any monster on the field if you have Dark Magician. Magical Dimension. This is one of those cards that works with spellcaster monsters. Gold Sarcophagus. Gonna move these up a bit. Monster Reborn. I tried to get as many cards hollow as I can. It's just the remaining cards that I don't have hollow either don't exist or they're like over $15 each, so I kind of skipped them for now. Dark Magic Veil. Special Summon Spellcasters, or Dark Spellcasters. Dedication Through Light and Darkness. That's another card that he had in his deck in the GX series with when that kid stole his deck. So I have that in here. It gets out Dark Magician Chaos. We have some draw power here. Pot of Greed. Draw 2 cards. And Card of Sanctity, which when you're doing character duels, you obviously use the anime effect, which is both players draw until they have 6 cards in their hand, because this one's kind of lame. The effect is not very great unless you use the anime effect, so that's what I generally play with. Then Polymerization, and the Eye of Timaeus. And that's it for the spell cards. We have some trap cards. Spellbinding Circle. Mirror Force. Magical Hats. Those are some pretty classic cards right there. 7 Tools of the Bandit. And there's so many good trap cards that you can use for Yugi. These are just my favorite ones that I picked. Dark Renewal, Dark Horizon, and Magician's Defense. Those 2 are both from the Dark Side of Dimensions movie. And last but not least, we just have some fusions. We have Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast. Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, and Amulet Dragon. These 2 both can be summoned through the Eye of Timaeus. And then Dark Paladin, which is one of the coolest fusion monsters. Alright, so that's the Yugi deck. I'll be back next time with the Kaiba deck. Alrighty.